So hello students. So this is our video number part 2 for the chapter chemical calculations. Okay. So here we are proceeding with the next part of our class. In our previous class we have learnt about chemical equations. So here we will see that how we could do chemical calculations, okay, using a chemical equation. So first the thing that we have to know, that is vapor density. First we have to know about the terms, then we will go into the chemical calculation. So first is, what is vapor density? So vapor density is applicable for only gas, okay. For a gaseous substance the vapor density is applicable, because vapor means when it is present in the gaseous form, okay, when a liquid that is converted into the gaseous form. So that vapor, the density of that vapor is called its vapor density. So how we could calculate the vapor density? So it is also a relative property which we could calculate in terms of the hydrogen gas, okay, in terms of the hydrogen gas. So let's check. So this is the formula of vapor density, that is density of any gas, density of any gas, okay, at a given temperature and pressure. So density of any gas at a given temperature and pressure divided by density of hydrogen gas at the same temperature and pressure. That means that temperature and the pressure that we are taking here, okay, that should be equal to the temperature and pressure that has been taken for the hydrogen gas. So this is the ratio, okay. Vapor density could be expressed as the ratio of the density of any gas at a given temperature and pressure and at the same temperature and pressure by the density of hydrogen gas, okay. Or density means what? Density means mass divided by volume, okay. Density means mass divided by volume. So the same equation could also be represented in terms of mass and volume, but there the mass could be different but the volume should be same. So here the formula will be mass of any gas, okay, mass of any volume of gas at a given temperature and pressure divided by mass of same volume of hydrogen, mass of same volume of hydrogen at the same temperature and pressure, okay. So any gas first you have to take, and here hydrogen we have to take, okay. Their volume should be same, their temperature should be same, and their pressure should be same. Only we have to compare their masses. So this is the number. Vapor density is the number by which the mass of any volume of a gas at a given temperature and pressure is heavier than the mass of the same volume of hydrogen, okay. So if the volume here is V, if the pressure is P, and if the temperature is T, so for this case also the volume, pressure and temperature must be the same, okay. So these three conditions must be same for them. So by dividing them, by calculating their ratio, we could calculate its mass, okay. Next, that could also be calculated in terms of in terms of their molecular mass. So this is the basic formula. So if we could take the mass of them as 22.4 liter, vapor density D. So as I have told that if this is the mass of any gas, this is the mass of hydrogen, right? And their volume, three conditions, volume, pressure and temperature must be same. Now suppose if the volume for both of them is taken as 22.4 liter, okay, and pressure and temperature are taken as per conditions of STP. Volume is 22.4 liter at standard temperature and pressure. That means pressure should be 1 atmosphere and temperature should be 0 degrees Celsius. Okay. Here also the volume is 22.4 liter at STP. That means the conditions are same for both of them. Now what will happen? Okay, so this part in your PDF notes, this part I have not written there. So just follow whenever you are following this video, this part write in your copy. Okay, because this part I have not written in the PDF notes. So obviously I will do something different in your PDF notes and in your video, so that you could do something notes from here also. So whatever I am writing, if it's different from your notes, so then you have to copy. Just like this part that you have to copy. Okay, so the mass of a gas divided by mass of the hydrogen when the volume is 22.4 liter for both of them at the standard temperature and pressure at this condition. So whenever the volume we have taken as 22.4 liter, so as we know that at STP when the volume is 22.4 liter, so then their amount or the quantity will be equal to 1 mole. So here also 1 mole of gas divided by 1 mole of hydrogen. Okay, here also 1 mole of gas divided by 1 mole of hydrogen. Now 1 mole of a gas means, if we want to represent it in terms of weight, so what is the weight that is denoted by 1 mole? That is molecular weight. 1 mole is always equals to its molecular weight when it is a molecule, and 1 mole is also equal to the atomic weight when it is a atom. Okay, so 1 mole in class 9, I think you have not, I think all of you have must learn this. So 1 mole means molecular weight for a molecule. So here that will be molecular weight of gas divided by molecular, in short I am writing MW means molecular weight of hydrogen. Okay, molecular weight of gas, molecular weight of a gas divided by molecular weight of hydrogen. Now what is the molecular weight of hydrogen? Atomic mass of hydrogen is 1, right? Atomic mass of hydrogen is 1, and in 1 molecule of hydrogen or in 1 moles of hydrogen, how many atoms of hydrogen are present here? 2 atoms. So what will be the molecular weight of hydrogen? That will be 2 gram. If you calculate it accurately, then the mass is actually 1.008 gram, and that mass is 2 into 1.008 gram. But just you have to, for this class, just you have to take it as a rough idea. So that will be is equals to weight. So now molecular weight of any gas, that I am writing as capital M. Okay, capital M for molecular weight for a gas divided by molecular of hydrogen means that will be 2 gram, because atomic mass of hydrogen is 2. So therefore molecular weight of hydrogen is 2 into 1 that is 2 gram. Okay, that is the molecular weight of hydrogen. So what equation we are getting here? That molecular weight of the gas is equals by 2 is equals to D. So from here this relation we are getting. Therefore molecular weight of any gas is equals to 2 into D. So this is a very important equation. So don't forget to copy it in your notes. Okay, molecular gas is equals to 2 into D. So this derivation you have to do in your copy. Okay, this one is completed. Okay, next part that I am telling, that is how to calculate the mole number. Okay, how could we calculate the mole number? So I am just removing this part. So mole number calculation already you have learned in class 9, though I am telling the equation again because in this chapter it is important for numericals. Mole number is equals to given weight. Given weight means what? The weight that will be given in the question for any substance, that you have to write as the numerator, and in the denominator part you have to write the molecular weight MW or only M of that substance, of the same substance. Okay, so by this way you could calculate the mole number of the substance. So this is denoted by small m, this is denoted by W, and this is denoted by capital M. Okay, next thing, stoichiometry. So what is stoichiometry? So all the chemical calculations that we will see in this chapter, okay, regarding the quantity could be weight dependent, or that could be on volume dependent. Okay, so that calculation regarding the weight of the reactants and the products, or regarding the calculation of the weight and the volume, that is called stoichiometry. So here stoichiometry means actually the chemical calculation regarding the relation between the reactants and products, and that relation, that quantitative relation, quantitative means where we have to calculate their quantity, that could be of two types. One is mole number, only mole relation, that means mole number of the reactants and the mole number of the product, or weight, the weight for both the reactants and the products we have to take. And the second one is mole and volume relation, or weight and volume. Okay, so for one of the substance we have to calculate its weight, and for one of the substance we have to calculate its volume. Volume we need to calculate for the gaseous type substances. Okay, so if in the question the volume is asked to calculate, so then for a gaseous substance then you have to use this rule, and for calculating the weight, okay, for normally the solid substances, then you have to use this rule. So today we will see few examples regarding the weight or mass or mole relation. Okay, so the first question there is written, what amount of oxygen, that is given in your PDF notes. So I am just explaining the first question. What amount of oxygen will be produced by heating 24.5 gram of potassium chlorate? So for calculating, for doing this question, for answering this question, first you have to read the question properly, okay, and then identify the reaction. That in this reaction it has been told that potassium chlorate KClO3 is heated. Okay, So then you have to identify its reaction, that whenever KClO3 is heated, that reaction you have to do by yourself. Whenever it is heated, it will make potassium chloride and oxygen. So first step, you have to identify the chemical reaction and the chemical equation. Then you have to balance it. Then you have to balance this equation. So here 3 oxygen, here 2 oxygen. So just the LCM of 3 and 2 is 6. So we have to make on both sides number of oxygen as 6. So multiply here by 2 and multiply here by 3. Okay. So multiply this one by 2. After multiplying this by 2, now the potassium and chlorine also become 2. It has also become 2. So multiply here with 2 also. Okay. So by balancing this chemical equation, we have got their number of moles, that 2 moles of KClO3. 2 moles of KClO3 has, when it is heated, it makes 2 moles of KCl and 3 moles of oxygen. Okay. Next, the question, in the question it has been asked that when 24.5 gram of KClO3 is heated, what is the weight of oxygen, or what is the mass of oxygen that will be produced from here? So first, by reading the question, you have to identify that the masses of which substances are given. Okay. All the substances are not required for answering the question. So just you have to identify the masses of which substance is given and the mass of which substance you have to calculate. So the mass of KClO3 is given in the question and you have to calculate the mass of oxygen. So what we need to do here, first, for doing this equation we have to do by using unitary method. So we have to first calculate their weights, okay, by using their molecular weight. So what is the number of mole for KClO3 here? That is 2 moles, and here for oxygen it is 3 moles. Okay. So now you have to calculate the molecular weight of KClO3. So I am just showing it here. Atomic mass of potassium is 39. That will be given in the question, but if not given, then you have to remember. For chlorine it is 35.5. So it is better to remember the atomic mass, okay, up to 30, up to atomic number 30 element. That means up to zinc, because it is because you don't know that in which question it will be given or not. So for chlorine, atomic mass is 35.5 and for oxygen it is 16. So molecular weight of KClO3 now I am calculating. So how many atoms of potassium is there? Only 1. So 1 into 39 means 39. 1 atom of chlorine. So 1 into 35.5 means 35.5 plus 3 into 16. Because atomic mass of oxygen is 16. So now by adding all of them, the total value will come as 245. Sorry. First it will come as 122.5. This is the molecular weight of KClO3. Now how many moles of KClO3 is present here? 2 moles. So for calculating this you have to multiply its molecular weight by 2. So the value will come as 245 gram. Okay. 2 into 122.5, 245 gram of KClO3 reacts with. Now for oxygen, the molecular weight is, we know 32 gram. So how many moles is there? 3. So 3 into 32, 96 gram. So now just observe the equation. Now it has become as a unitary method that 245 gram KClO3 forms 96 gram of oxygen. 245 gram of KClO3 when heated forms 96 gram of oxygen. So that means just like unitary method, when 1 gram KClO3 reacts, it will make 96 by 245, and in the final process, in the last line, so when 24.5 gram of KClO3 will react, so it will make 24.5. Okay. So point will come here, divided by 10. So 96 by 10 means 9.6 gram. So the answer will become 9.6 gram of oxygen will be produced by this reaction. Okay. So in this way, several examples are given, okay, in your PDF. So just follow the questions that are given for the mass type of questions. Okay. Okay, and one more thing, in our live class, okay, in our last live class, I have said one thing there, that is the ionic bonding is, I don't know whether you have remembered it not. I have told there that ionic bonding is not always stronger than the covalent bond, but actually that part that I am just telling now, that obviously ionic bonding is stronger than the covalent bond, because though covalent bond covalent bond is made by the overlapping, by strong overlapping, but rather than whenever ionic bond is being formed, it is being formed by two ions, just like a cation and one anion, and the attractive force between them is electrostatic force of attraction. Electrostatic force of attraction, and this electrostatic force of attraction is much more stronger, okay, than the covalent bond. So the bonding between, suppose MM, or between AA, so this type of bonds are actually covalent bonds. So in comparison to this type of bonds, this bond, that is electrostatic force of attraction between two ions, that is more stronger. In a flow on that day, I have just told that this is stronger sometimes, but not actually always. Okay, so that is the reason. But that point, that boiling point and melting point for ionic bonds are greater than the covalent bonds, or for boiling point and melting point for ionic compounds are greater than the covalent compounds. That is actually not based on their force of attraction or the strength of their bond. That depends on the hydrogen bonding. Okay, that is another question. So this is the part. Okay, so in our next class we will discuss about the another chemical calculations. Okay, so thank you for joining everyone.